Hello, NTRK. Thank you for joining. All right, let's build a new tram line. Sorry, I haven't been saying anything so far. I'm not really sure what to do. It's my first time live streaming. All right, so let's make a new tram line that goes from our new outer city station to the downtown area and serves this portion of the city. So we'll put another station right there. We're going to do something similar to what we did here, where we're going to have the last portion of the tram line be a single track. So let's do this. Let's delete that house. Sorry to the homeowner. Let's go like that. Yeah, and then we'll have a nice little loop right there. Oops, didn't want to do that. Okay, and let's have it. Let's do something like this. And it would be nice if if this new line, ideally we want it to connect to our station right here. So maybe we'll do something like this. Yeah, this will be good. We'll take advantage of these parallel streets for our tram loop. Okay. And we'll have a single line section right here. Alternatively, we could delete this house right here to shorten the single line section, but we'll spare them for now. So let's put that there. And what I'll do is I'll show you, we'll again use the token block signal, and I'll show you how to, another way to use it. This way used to be kind of buggy. It sometimes is still a little buggy, but we'll try to make it work. Because what we want to do is we want to have a single line station, maybe right there. So one tram's going to come down like that, and the other one's going to wait here. And once it passes, then the other tram is going to go around and come through like that. And they're going to take turns serving this single station right here. That'll be pretty cool if it works, which it will, probably. Put that there, maybe there. Okay. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, put that there. Oops. We want to space out the stations, as I talked about in another video. We want to space out the stations to a degree, but we also want to serve as many people as possible with the tram line. So go like that, go like that. 1, 2, 3 spaces. Now let's do 5. Like so. And then we'll have the end portion right there, the end of the track. Okay. Now we'll build the tramway. And to speed up placing the wires, we'll put our one-way signals first. One-way signal there, one-way signal there. And that'll kind of speed things up, because then we can like drag like that, and then, wait, how do you do it? I don't know. There. I miss what was it called? Open TTD, Open Transportation Tycoon Deluxe, because when you're placing the overhead wires, you literally just click and drag, and it makes like an expanding square, and everything with every track within the square gets electrified, which makes it really easy to build the overhead lines to upgrade them. But Simutrans is a bit wonky with that. Okay, so we'll put a token block signal because we want to have 2 stations on this line. So let's delete that. Let's delete that house. Let's build a new fancy station building there and directly connect it. Again, like I've mentioned in another video, you can have like 2 stations directly like this, and they will basically act as one station. They're so close together, they'll basically act as one station. So if one bus is coming here, one bus service comes there, and then another one comes here. If people want to transfer, they'll just transfer. They'll just walk between the 2 stations. It basically acts as a single station. Yeah. What else am I missing? Oh, I need to put a token block signal here. Okay, so here I'm going to put a new station there. And okay, token block signal there. And we have to always use these end of signaling signs after the token block. So you can use either a regular stop signal or a token block or an end of signaling sign to signify the end of the token block segment. So, and I think I already put them here. Good. Okay. So now we can put the trams on the line. And since we already have a station, we just have to connect these 2 stations with the line. I'm playing Simutrans instead of actually working on a new drawing, which is going to be coming out soon. So I'm literally just like, you know, procrastinating, doing something that's a little bit more fun than drawing, instead of actually getting something done. Okay, so here's our new tram, and we'll want to have it start here. 1, 2. Should I build a station there? Yeah, probably should. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Da 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 da. Okay, and so it ends at the northmost station. Have it come back down. Have it stop there. Yeah, and this is definitely going to give us a lot more passengers. Okay, and then the last stop is there. Now, okay, so we'll promote it to line. And we won't have to make it wait for a time. It's going to do that by itself because the trains, of course, are going to have to wait for each other at the token block. So ideally, after a little bit, it'll become staggered to the point that right when a tram arrives at this station right here, the tram on this line will be passing the end, and no one will have to wait. Ideally, no one will have to wait very long. Okay. All right. So that's line 4. Now we'll go to schedule, and it says that the first station it's starting at is number 1. That's this one. We don't want it to start at number 1. We want it to start at 2. At 2 going in this direction, because if it starts at 1 and we release all the trams at once, they'll all go to this one, and there's no signals over here, so they'll all just like get stacked up on each other and no one can move. So we're going to start at station 2. So you go to schedule station 2, and then you can just copy. Let's make, I don't know, 12. It's kind of a long line. Okay, let's see if it works. be sure to save the game. We don't want it to crash, which it is known to do. Okay, that's good so far. See, they're passing right when they pass the sign into signaling, then the next train is able to go. Sims up here, they wait for each other. Okay, passes the sign, next one is cleared to go. And we might have more trams on the line than we need, but we can deal with that later if it's too many. Okay, so we might have. So far, we have one waiting. Let's see if that works. Okay, so let's. Uh-oh. No, everything's good. Okay. If you're in the chat and you're from Instagram, Cities Illustrated, say what up, or don't say anything. Say whatever you want, really. Right now, I'm just kind of talking to myself, narrating what's going on in the game. But if you have anything to say it, and I will comment or choose not to. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So let's take a look at our lines so far. So here's our downtown station, and then here is our uptown north station. And this is kind of reflects, how railways were built in the advent years of rail, where not all the stations, not all the major rail stations, actually met. They were built in different parts of the city because it was so expensive to, demolish houses, acquire land for the railroad. So they would just build it in the cheapest place they could, which is kind of what we're doing over here. But later, I think that we can expand the train line to go downtown and maybe just make it like an express service. So will stop at this outer station. Maybe it'll have one stop somewhere midtown, and then terminate in the center of the city in the downtown portion. And there's many ways that we can do that. We're not going to do it right now because we don't really have that much money, and there's not a lot of it doesn't really make a lot of sense to do it right now. But a cool way that we can do it is with the cut and cover rail tunnel type. So there's 4 different kinds of tunnels. There's the tube tunnel, which is cool, which is where you literally build a subway, and it's the cheapest tunnel to build. It's pretty cheap, and it's nice because you can build it on a single slope, not like the other rail tunnel type requires a double slope. But this one but the tube tunnel you are allowed to use a single slope, so it only has to go under one layer of land, which is pretty convenient in some cases. But of course, you're only allowed to use tube trains. You cannot use mainline trains. But with the cut and cover tunnel, it's a cool tool because you are only allowed to build it under roads. Because literally cut and cover means they cut up the road and then they build the train line under it, and then they put the road back. You don't have to demolish any houses. There's a lot of examples of that in modern transit lore or whatever. But of course, that means that you can only put it under roads. But since we have a nice straight section of road right here that goes just directly straight from here to downtown, it's a good opportunity for us to put the tunnel, to use the cut and cover tunnel method. The cut and cover tunnel method costs $20,000 per tile, but while the stone and brick rail tunnel costs $22,000. So I think they changed the values in the latest update because the cut and cover rail tunnel used to be quite a bit cheaper, which gave you a lot more incentive to utilize it. But now, since it's so close to the stone brick rail tunnel, I don't know, it doesn't really make sense. because the stone and brick rail tunnel, you can use that like anywhere. You can drag it literally anywhere as long as it's 2 tiles below ground. Um, and you can make it as long as you want. The only limitation is you have to, if you're building it underwater, it says right here in the description, it says maximum distance to shore 2,500 meters. So you can only build it 2,500 meters from shore. That's the furthest you can build with it. And as time progresses, the distance to shore will increase. So you can build longer and longer tunnels. But okay, so I think this is running pretty successfully. Our new tram line is pretty good. Everything's going smooth. Our new train line, how's it going? Oh, it says we're losing money. We're losing money because because of the train type I chose. Um, I picked the fastest electric train that was available, which is this LSWR Suburban EMU, and the maintenance or the running cost is almost 5 Simutrans bucks per kilometer, which is very expensive. Um, Most of the other trains are around like 2 per kilometer, $2 per kilometer. So it's using a lot of money because not a lot of people are using the train itself because I don't know why. Well, because it's only serving the single town. Um, Now, something cool that we can do is let's make a tram line within this town to better connect this downtown station with the rest of the city. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna make it a single line um, tram, or what we'll do is we'll make 2 single lines. And this is a method that I use a lot in Simutrans. It's much better than buses. People will always choose to use the tram streetcars over buses because they're much more comfy and they're much more reliable because trams do not get stuck in traffic unlike buses. So we'll build 1 tram depot, and it's relatively cheap to do so. Um, they're fast, they're reliable. You just have to build a tram depot, but the trams themselves are very cheap. So we'll put a station there, we'll put a station there, one there, and one there. And then over here, we'll put a station here, we'll put a station there. And then what we'll do, put a signal box, and we will put 2 signals right there. So then the trains will take turns using this single line approach to the station. And let's pick a tram to use. We'll pick the one with the cheapest running cost and the highest capacity. That looks good. Okay, so we want to, since the depot is on this line, we want to start the other line first. Because if we start it on this line, then when we go to run the other tram on the other line, they're just going to run into each other. See? Now it's working. And so we should soon see an increase in people using this, our new electric train line. And we can see it if we go into the line management and we click on the line that we're interested in. Line 3, chart, and we can see the revenue, and we should see the revenue increase. This is by month. This is month over month. It's kind of hard to see. They didn't pick a great color. It's like light green on gray. But we should soon see this uptick. We can also look at passenger kilometer. I'm not sure what these values are. Profit, net profit. So now we should be seeing a increase, and we are. It's great. And soon, since right now the line's in the red, I think it should we should get in the black soon. Maybe, but it's all right now. We will build another rail line. Maybe what we'll do is we'll expand this rail line. We'll expand it to this city, Foxerworth, and maybe with the ultimate goal of going to another. No, maybe this city. Oh, this city looks like a very nice opportunity. As you can see, it has a big football stadium and a large cricket ground. Oh, there's four. It has four major attractions. So that's definitely something we want to get over to. So let's see what our line of credit is. $438,000. That's a lot of money. Um, that's a ton of money. Hmm. Maybe what we will do is let's build a line to Bport. Yeah. And right now, I'm only really focusing on passenger service, but in the future, let's we can dabble with industry and cargo transportation. Because right here there's a steel mill. It consumes iron and coal, and it produces steel. So what we'll do in the future is we'll connect this with the iron and coal mines, and then we'll connect it with the people who buy the steel. So, but let's just focus on the passengers, because passenger service is the best way to make money at almost any point in the game. I think. Why did I do that? What am I trying to do here? Oh, I want to make the train go. Oh, okay. Here's what we'll do. We'll have a stop there. We'll have a stop there. Yeah, like that. Duh, duh, duh. Hmm. It would be nice if we could just keep going up here. Well, we can. Of course, it's easy to do. We'll make our terminal right there. And to do that, I wouldn't. We're going to use the artificial slope, and we'll just go like that and like that. We only have to use the artificial slope when it's entirely over water, and the rest of it we can use uh, the wooden elevated way, like that, like that, like that. All right, and so we click on the football ground, and it says that we have a close connection. Right here, only a minute 48 seconds, so that's really great. All right, so hmm, let's do something like this. Let's just make a straight as an arrow shot. Yeah, like that. Um, and for this service, because I have such a straight way, the trains that I have available, most of them are because right here I only have an electric depot built, and so the trains that I have available are electric. So some of them have a cheap running cost, like this one, the Tyneside EMU, but it only goes 70 miles an hour. What we so what we can do is over here I have my Steam Depot. And, just because I have so much money, let's just connect our two tracks. And so the way that Simutrans works is when you click and hold, and it will find the cheapest route between the 2 points that you're clicking, but it won't necessarily find like the best route. So you kind of have to figure that out on your own. Um, but for this instance, since this is not going to be like a revenue route, this is just connecting the two lines. Um, it's not something we have to really concern ourselves with. So again, maximum axle load is 17 tons. Let's pick a train that has maximum. This axle load is 17 tons, and it has a very high power, um, almost 400 kilo somethings, 400 kilowatts. I guess is what kW means. I don't really know how to calculate that into uh, normal English. So let's now we have to pick a carriage to go on this train. Um, as you can see up here, I made the stations only 2 tiles long. Um, Actually, we could easily make them 3. We just add one right there, and then for here, we'll just delete the road tile and then add a 3rd tile. So now we have a 3-tile station on the entire line. 1, 2, 3. And then we will put what should we do? Oh, I guess we should just do this, where we'll do the same thing. We'll just pick a token block signal. Token block signal means only one train can travel on the line at a time, and that's going to be the case for now, because this train is going to be very fast. And we will just give it one of these random train carriages. Maybe this one. Okay, 160 passengers in low, 120 in medium. That looks pretty good. What is the maximum speed on these? 160. Almost all the passenger carriages are always have a maximum speed of 160. But it's always just good to check. Okay, mirror schedule, promote to line. We have a new line 7. We're definitely going to be making money on this. So let's go here. Let's go to line 7. Okay, so we got an error. It says no route. Cannot find a route. Check the weight limit of ways and bridges on its route. Oh. So the first thing that might mean is that somewhere on here there's the tracks are not connected, and so right here, that's the case. It's really annoying because if you build like a really long train line, it will never tell you exactly where the breakage is, where the circuit is lost. You have to find that on your own. So you have to you have to zoom in and you have to follow the track, and you have to look for something like this. And you can see it's kind of one of those barriers. And so all you have to do to fix it is just drag it again, drag over it again, and it's done. And now the train is good to go. See, there it is. And you can just hold escape to clear out these errors. Okay. So there's the train. Just watch it go back and forth. See, it's going pretty fast, about 100 kilometers an hour. It reaches up to 120 towards the end, which is pretty good. It's not picking up as many people as I would have liked, but still pretty good. And yet, as you can see, the operating cost is 2.26 Simu bucks per kilometer. So we're already making money off of it, even if not that many people are using it. Again, we could do the same thing that we did over here with the tram line to encourage more people to use the service. So now we have 3 cities connected. Something we could definitely do here in um, the island city is build a tram line. I'll just build that quickly. I won't narrate it too much. Um, what is the best way to do it? We definitely want to use these two parallel roads. And it would be nice if it terminated up here. But I'm not sure how we can do that. So let's just do like that, and um, let's have something like this. So for this portion, we'll just make it a real easy signal. We won't use the token signal. We'll just use the regular signals because we will only have one stop right there. We'll have stops there, stops there, 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 there. And then I'm going to show you guys another method of how we can stagger the tram stops. So before I was using like the token signal to have only one train on the line at a time, and that would stagger it by default. But if we want to have two parallel lines and we want them to and we want trams to be able to wait for each other and then take turns like going like exactly every 10 minutes, which is the plan, then we'll put a signal box, we'll put a choose signal. And that means that the tram coming this way will choose this stop or this stop, whichever one is available. And that way, there's always a space. There should ideally always be a space for the tram to go and wait. So they'll take turns. The tram will arrive. The other tram will go, and they'll wait 10 minutes each. Okay. And this will definitely pump up our passenger numbers because this area, this part of the city is very dense. Okay. I think that's everything for that. So let's find a place to put our depot. Okay, where's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Oops. Let's say 5 trains on the line, 6 trains. See, they're going to wait for each other. Now, what we want to do is we want to, because right now they're just going into the station, they're immediately leaving. So we want to go to station 9. It's helpful because it gives us these little numbers here. So this is 9, station 9. And we'll click wait for time. And we'll change it, we'll drop it down to 10 minutes. So now the trams are going to leave every 10 minutes. See? And so now we might have to delete some of these extra trams because they're kind of now you see I sent it to the depot, but okay, there, now it's going to go. Okay, so we're definitely going to get more passengers here using this line. More passengers on this rail line. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good so far. Maybe at some point later we'll build another tram line in this section of the city to serve it, to have it serve the downtown area. And then ideally, later we will have a crosstown line, maybe a subway, because there's not many parallel roads in this area. So a crosstown line like that would be pretty useful because it would better connect the cities, the different neighborhoods in the city. Okay. And as you can see, the public authority of this town, Kessingport, has built a bridge over my train tracks, which is kind of annoying when they do that. It's not like, I mean, I should have planned for it, but now it means I'll have to delete the bridge if I want to double track this portion of the line, which for now we don't really have to worry about. But when you build more train lines and you build like mail service and you build a power service and you deliver goods, then supposedly the city's supposed to grow faster when all like four of those things are, when all four of those parameters are met. Again, the parameters being mail, passenger, power, goods. But right now we only have passenger. Um, I think the passenger services are the most interesting aspect of this game, but the other ones are really fun too. Of course, you can make like a post service and have like a central post office. Um, what should we do now? What's something cool I can show you? Uh, let's check our balance. Check how much money we got in the bank. So we still have a credit limit of 484. It looks like we they're lowering it further, or they're raising our credit limit. They're going to let us. They're going to lend us more money because we're making more money. Let's take a look at our margin. Oh, our profit margins dropped a bit. You can see that we used to have a very high profit margin of 81%, and now we've been hovering around like 50%. But that's kind of that's because we've been spending money, and also not all of our lines are super profitable. They're not as profitable as our first initial line, which served a very busy city. Um, so we want to do. Let's build a ferry between this city, Bumblington, and our downtown, and we can do that like right here or right there. Let's see if we'll make any money this way. We probably won't make that much money, but we will get more passengers to serve our main station. Um, so how do I want to go about this? Let's see. Um, this isn't going to be the most profitable venture, but I'm only kind of just doing it to make things more interesting for the live stream. So we built our harbor. It is called the Stony Hartmouth Dock, and we have a variety of ships here that we can choose from. This one, the Compound Coastal Paddle Ship, is the cheapest to operate. The Large Steel River Paddle Ferry is cheaper, but it cannot go in the open ocean. It has to. It it can only go in a river, and a river looks like. There's not really any rivers around here. This is a river, but it's not a real river. It's a stream. There's no like wide rivers as far as I can see, which is kind of too bad. I like it when they have a big when the map generates a big like river network. No, the compound coastal paddle ship can only go in the open ocean. So we'll have it start there, then it will travel to. Let's have it go right to this the harbor, this dock right next to this church, which has a visitor demand 128, which is not bad. Okay, and that's it. You place the landing tile right in front of the harbor, and then promote to line, and go. And this is also not going to make much money right now, so we're going to need to build a little tram system to connect it. So I think we'll do what we did earlier, where we have like a tram system that consists of a bunch of single lines, and then a bunch of single lines that come together at our main station, which in this case is a harbor. So we have 3 lines. So see, all the trains will just travel on these, and they'll take turns using this section of the line. And this is a really efficient method of bringing more people to whatever destination you want them to. And we can't have any stations on this single section because, again, they're going to be sharing it. Have a station there, have a station there, have a station there. Okay. We'll want to have a station here next to the school, and maybe just one more here. It's good for these like single line tram systems, it's good to only have 4 stations on a line, because again, it's a single tram. And like I said in another video, if the frequency of the train arriving is around 15 minutes, then that is ideal, because then people will use it for commuting. If it's longer than that, people will use it less. So we want to kind of keep our single line, single tram systems to 4 stations. So for this last part, we have 1, 2, 3. Maybe up here. It's fine. We'll do 5 because this is such a long section. And then where shall we put our? Let's put our depot right there. Okay. And of course, we need to put our signals. So we put a signal box. We'll use the stop signals again. 1, 2, and 3. And remember, we'll create the route for this line last. We'll start over here on the farthest side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Near, promote. You can also press escape and then start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Near, promote, start. One, 2, 3, 4. Mirror, promote, start. And so now it's going to be a lot easier for people all over the city to be using this. Okay, that's looking pretty good. See, it's kind of staggered itself, so they all kind of are taking turns using the section and with minimal waiting. Sometimes I think they're going to, come together at the intersection at the same time, and they'll have to wait a lot longer, but, whatever. And so let's see, what line is our ship? Okay. So our line is line 9. So let's see. Okay, so right now we have 15 people waiting, 20 people waiting for line 9. Not bad. Okay, it's getting up there. And it says our ship is already profitable. 79 cents per kilometer is not much, but the big hit comes when at the end of the month, when we pay a flat salary maybe for the crew or something of 564 bucks per month, which is kind of it's a bit. But no, we're getting lots of people on here. It's good. This was a good idea. Okay, so there's our there's our steamship just chugging along, bringing people into the city. Okay, picked up another 70. Now, one thing that I did notice, one thing that you might see is that the main station and the harbor are kind of far apart. And while we do have a tram network that is kind of connecting them, it's not doing the best job because the trams that are going to the station, the closest station to the harbor is this one right here. And so you can see that they have to walk a bit. So let's see how long. Let's see how far they have to walk. Will it tell us? No, wait. Details, direct routes. Oh yeah, so here, so the one that I'm talking about is Stony Hartmouth Parish Hall, and it says that they have to walk 15 minutes to get to the station that connects to the rail system. And that's not exactly ideal. What we might want to do later is build a new tram, like a single tram line that kind of wraps around here and then connects directly to the rail, to the downtown train station. That would probably be a good idea, and would definitely get us more. Would definitely get us more passengers. But I'm not going to deal with that right now. I'm waiting for the new electric units to be released because right now the fastest one that's available is 97, can go 97 kilometers an hour, and that's not bad for it being 1924. But ideally, but the problem with this one, the one that goes up 97, is that it's expensive to operate. It's like I was saying earlier, it's almost $5 per kilometer, which is expensive. And then when the ones that are going to be released later, those are a bit cheaper, quite a bit cheaper to operate. And as time goes on, of course, faster and faster trains are going to come out, and soon, like the steam trains are going to become obsolete, and so on. So another thing we can do is so right now we're using the third rail power system for this part of for this train line. And so when we click on the depot, it's only going to show us the trains that use the third rail power system, third rail power method. So, but we can look at the other trains available because there's another power system available. There's two other ones. One is DC overhead, and the other is DC fourth rail. And right now we're using DC third rail. DC fourth rail, I'll show you what trains we have for that one, is all the trains we have right now for third rail, but it also includes the subway trains and some other trains that I think are kind of useless, that are kind of pointless to build because I don't know, they don't really have any purpose, in my opinion. So I never use DC third rail unless I'm using it for subways. But you can see there's some historic trains here, like the Mersey Railway, which I think was like the railway in Liverpool. And then there's the District G stock trains. I think those are London Underground. All these are London Underground. But let's take a look at the DC overhead trains. So there's only one available, and it is the L and YR EMU. It's a two-car train. You can buy it as a simple two-car train. It's really expensive for some reason, and I don't understand why. And the maintenance is not exactly that cheap either. I think they need to change the price of this, or increase the price of the other ones, because like for the train I'm using right now on the electric line, it is the Suburban EMU, and it only costs like $4,000. So the other one is like 1,000% more expensive for some weird reason. But um, yeah. But as like I said, as time progresses, better and better trains will be released for the electric rail systems, and we'll of course buy those so we can extend our service. Um, Speaking of, let's just go ahead and let's just build. Um, there's a bunch of trees right here which are kind of getting in the way of me of my vision because as you can see, there's a lot of the land contour um, changes, and so we want to be able to see the actual contours better. So we'll go to display, map view, hide trees. Yeah, and now all the trees look like that. That's going to allow us to build like so. And let's see, how do we want this to go? Maybe like this. Hmm. Yeah, of course, an ideal train line is as straight and flat as possible, but that doesn't really matter too much for an early game because the trains cannot go that fast. Of course, later in the game when you get like high speed rail trains, um, that's going to matter a lot. You're going to want to make a very direct route as much as possible and keep it as flat as possible. But we're not going to really pay attention to that too much right now. I'm sure of course, there's some way that you could calculate all that, and it'd be cool if you could do that in the game, like plan like the most ideal route. But right now, I kind of just wing it, just kind of go off what I think works best, which oftentimes is not the best way. I'll realize later. Okay, so where should we put our station in the town of Foxer Worth? I think it'd be great if it was right in the middle of town, right there. So I'm just going to delete all these buildings. A bunch of people just lost their houses, but sometimes that's the way it is, unfortunately. Um, yeah, let's do that. Okay. All right, and we'll build a new station there, electrify it. Okay, and now let's add a new station to the electric line's route. So to pull up, the easiest way to pull it up, because I don't remember the line which is which off the top of my head, is we go to details, services, line 3. And like I said, just for the sake of this, let's change the name of the line. So let's call this station Uptown Station and to Foxworth. But we'll just call it Uptown Electric because we're going to probably extend it more and I don't want to keep changing it. So Uptown Electric. And now, when we go to all, there's our line, Uptown Electric, and we already are using a single track method the entire way, so it's going to be a mirror schedule. So all we'll do is we'll just add another stop, and that's this one at the end. And now, okay, so we already have people going to the station. There's 10 people waiting for the Uptown Electric. And of course, there's not many people, who want to use this service because the train is not coming very often. The train only goes about 100 kilometers an hour, which is not actually that fast. Even though it looks fast because I've sped up time, if we put it on like normal time, like that's how fast it's actually going. See, it's max out. That's what 97 kilometers looks like in real game time. But we'll speed it up again. Okay, now it's going really fast. We are $293,000 in debt, which is fine, but our credit limit has again been extended to negative 553. Um, Another thing we could do is we could just extend the line again. But do we want to, or do we want to, maybe we could just build a new line. Oh yeah, I wanted to have serve this town. The best way to go about, of course, building a new line is, you don't want to build the whole thing in one go. What you want to do is you want to build it from town to town and have it, and then start having it operate and making a profit on each section. You don't want to wait to build the whole thing because then the bank will lower your line of credit if you're not using your money that they lent you to make money. So there's that train there. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what the best way to be. The best way to go about adding another train on this line. Hmm. So what I'm thinking about doing is double tracking this section from here to here, and that way the two trains can pass each other, and I will like have doubled my capacity on the line. And to do so, I'm gonna have to do something like this. So we'll start over there, bring that down, and we can build the elevated trestle supports like this. Has to be like, if it's like this, you cannot build the track on that. The track, if you've played OpenTTD, you know that the diagonal tracks are a lot better in OpenTTD because OpenTTD, um, the coding allows for two trains to technically be on the same tile at one time, but as in the way of parallel diagonal tracks. But that does not work in Simutrans because Simutrans is strictly one vehicle, one convoy per tile in almost all cases. So it looks a little funny when we do double parallel tracks, but so here we need to choose if we want to build a elevated support here or if we want to lower the land here. Now the elevated supports have a maintenance cost, um, 8 cents or 8 credits per tile, $8. That's a I don't really know how to calculate that. I don't really know what that's going to look like. If we pull up our finances, let's clear out everything we have credit margin. We have a tab called infrastructure maintenance, and as you can see, the cost of my infrastructure maintenance has been going up quite a bit because I've been building so many tracks and elevated supports. Um, the infrastructure maintenance cost us $45,000 last year. Oh, which is almost the same as the entire running costs. So the infrastructure maintenance is a fairly large part of your budget, um, somewhat significant. Um, but so what we could do is if we just lower the land, it's going to cost more initially, but there is no maintenance cost with lowering the land. So we'll just go like this. Right here, we can raise it. What you don't want to do, you don't want to raise it on like the open sea because it costs $15,000 to do that. If you need to build if you need to build land on the ocean, you need to use the artificial slope, which is only 3,000. But actually, you pressing the U key and raising it, like if I clicked right here, that would be $15,000. So don't do that. Okay, we'll do this, like so. And then oh wait, best way would be like that. Yeah. Okay. And now what we'll do is we'll keep it. We'll separate the two tracks. All right, and then we will put a one-way sign there, one-way sign there. And right now our train, just ran into the one-way sign, so it has to back up and turn around and go back. Put a staff cabinet there, so only one train can be on this section of track at a time. Put another staff cabinet. And this is the best way. This method is the best way to start double tracking your railway. So now we're going to be able to have two trains on the track at one time. So let's buy another train. There. And we don't really have to change the schedule at all because no new stations were added. Nothing really changed. Line 1. Yeah, it's line 1. Okay. And let's go. So now now line 1 has two trains on it. And it has to wait for it to cross the other signal. And we don't want it to have to wait, so let's, what we can do is we can, like I said earlier, end of signaling sign, drag it in the direction you want it to apply to, and then do the same at the other end of signaling there. So now there's two trains on that section. Oh, but it's still not perfect. Oh, wait, I know what I did wrong. I should not have done end of signaling. What I should have done is made a stop signal, because the end of signaling just means there's no more signal applied, which means the train will default to drive by sight mode, which is 35 kilometers an hour. End of signaling is good for tram lines because trams don't go very fast, of course. So now it's going to cross the token signal. It's going to come back around, and then the regular stop signal is applied to it. Cool. We have a little bit of an issue because this train is having to wait a while at this signal. Ideally, we would we would extend the viaduct and extend the double track, but that's kind of expensive right now. So I don't really want to do that right now. So they just have to wait a little bit. In the end, this service is faster because there are two trains. It's just you have to wait a little bit for one section, while before you didn't have to wait. So let's look at the chart and let's see our revenue going up, which it's not evident yet that we're making more money, but we should be soon, because the more frequent a train, the higher the frequency on a line, the more people will use the line. That's a basic rule for reality, and luckily that is applied in Simutrans. They don't have that in Cities Skyline and the other City Skyline game, the transit game. What is it called? Transit Fever. Transit Fever. I don't know if anybody's ever played that. I tried to play it a couple times. I've even bought the sequel, Transit Fever 2. I played it like for 2 hours, and when I realized that you couldn't, there was some weird thing with like people wouldn't transfer at stations. It just the game wasn't coded so people would properly transfer, and so I just like totally lost, um, my sense of realism with the game, and I just quit it. I didn't refund it. I let what is it, Bluebird Studios. I let them keep my money. I'm glad they did make a transit game, and it looked really shiny, and the graphics were good. A lot of it was pretty good, but it's just the core mechanics of the transit simulation were not realistic. So I, couldn't hang. All right, so what we could do is we could build more of a section right here. Yeah, let's just do it. What the heck? We'll have to keep that there. We want to make it a stop signal. There. Now let's see. Now let's see if people have to wait a long time. Or let's see how much longer the trains are going to have to wait. Oh, so now that train has to wait. It's not perfect, but whatever. Okay, so we did that. Let's see what our line of credit is. 535. Uh-oh. See, it was 563, and they're raising it because I have not been spending my money wisely. But honestly, at this point, I don't really know what else to really do without really, you know, we have to be very strategic at this point because what we don't want to do is having borrowed a ton of money and then um, have a service that does not meet the expectations of the bank. And then if that happens, they will begin to withdraw our line of credit, and that could lead to us going over our credit limit, which means we cannot build anything at all, and we can only wait and work with what we have, work with the vehicles we have to become profitable again. Um, so that's not good. That would not be good. And that's, of course, happened to me tons of times because I've been totally reckless with my money, just not planning properly. Um, and if you go over the credit limit so right here, our credit limit is 547. If we go over that, no wait, our credit limit is 535. If we go over that, then we are over the credit limit. We cannot buy anything. We cannot build anything. We can only do a certain number of functions. Uh-oh, they just shrunk it again. Um, and if we go over our solvency limit, like if we go like negative $1 million in debt, then we become insolvent. And if you are insolvent for a year, then you lose basically. So that's how it is. So we need to be very, very clever with our money. And I think a good thing that we can do is just by building another tram line, maybe in the this section of the town. But the problem is there's not many straight parallel roads in this part of the town. So we're gonna have to do some. We're gonna have to do some scheming. So one thing we can do, let's do this. We're going to try and have a bunch of loops, a bunch of passing loops for our trams. And unfortunately, it is going to mean deleting some buildings, but that's something you have to do sometimes. We are in 1925, so we could build buses, but I don't like using buses that much because they're just hard to keep track of. Um, and soon there's going to be a ton of cars on the road, and they're all just going to get backed up. So maybe I'll build a bus line in another town, but not in the main city. I definitely want to keep the main city to just trams. Okay, let's do like this. Okay. Hmm. And ideally, this tram line will terminate at the downtown railroad station. So I'll show you another cool thing we can do is we will um, build the tram tracks, turn them into not turn them into what do I do? We will have them. We will have the trams run on a section of regular train tracks instead of tram tracks. We'll have the trams start from this station, go up, around, come up to this station. And maybe we will want to expand our station later, so let's have it end right there, and let's put a station building there. Let's put two platforms there because the trams only take up one tile. And we'll go here, and we will pick the light rail um, type of electrification catenary. Sorry if I'm saying catenary. I just have such a hard time saying that word. Catenary, catenary. Okay, there's that. And what are we going to do with with this larger section without that does not have a parallel straight tracks? Oh boy. I mean, one thing that we can do is we can just delete some houses and just build a, you know, just build another parallel road. We'll yeah, I think that's what we'll have to do for now. Um, yeah. The station spacing is not going to be the best on this part because of all my weird passing loop stuff, but at least it's gonna, it's gonna be around. At least the service is gonna exist. And so we don't really have to do anything too fancy with the signaling here. We don't have like a single station like in the middle, which would require using the token blocks. We'll just keep it with the regular mechanical signal box. Um, and maybe what we will also do is we will use a power signal box. And this power signal box has up to 36 signals in a 20,000 meter radius. So that's 20 kilometer radius around from where it is. So let's put it like here. And now we can build up to 36 signals using that signal box. Um, and so we have some new signals available, like the 4-aspect signal. Um, Later, as we're expanding and adding more and more services, I'll go into the different kinds of signals, like all these kinds, like the 4-aspect, 3-aspect. We're just going to keep it with the simple 2-aspect signal because that's the cheapest and that's all we need. So we'll put one there, we'll put one there, put one there, put one there. Right here, we can't use the 2-aspect signal. We have to use the token block, and token block can only be built with the basic signal box. And of course, with token block, then you have to use the end of signaling sign. Okay. Where's my depot? Okay, right there. So we'll just build a non-revenue service track that connects the two that connects the depot with our new line. And this line was a very good idea to build because it serves a whole new section of the city, and it's going to let us bring more. It's going to give us more passengers using our lines. So let's build a station there, build one there. Put that there, this there, that over here. Okay, that looks pretty good, I would say. All right, let's hope it works. I'll have it start there, 1, 2. There. Same process. We're adding the signals in we're adding the stations to the schedule in the order that they should go. Oh, for here. And remember to if we want to build signals, you click on the signal box that you want the signals to be connected to. So if I click on this one and I go to the train line, the train tools, then all the signals that I can build will be connected to this one. And thus, if I want them to be connected to this signal box, which I do, I want a bunch of them to be connected to this one. Then you click on it. You remember to use the hotkeys. So A is changes the cursor into the tool that lets you click on stuff, or click on stuff and then identify it, and it brings up the information about it. So A turns to the power signal box, and it gives us the power signal box's signals. And what we want to do is we want to do the choose signal. Well, I guess they're all they're all pretty similar in price. We'll put the choose signal right there. And yeah, that's all I really need to do for that. But we have to have a choose signal, otherwise they'll just stack up on each other. Okay, 16, 17. Oh, and if you misclick, it'll just turn it now it becomes a waypoint. We don't want that. So we'll click remove and then click on the order you want removed, and then be sure you highlight the first order though again. Okay, comes around there, like so, like so, like so, like so. Like so. Oh, and so when I was building this earlier, I forgot to, you see this station is station 2. It should have been station 3. This one right here should have been station 2. So if I want to add it, then I can, in the orders, I can go to insert, click on, because with insert, it will insert an order above the highlighted one. So if this is station 1 and I want this one to be station 2, I have to go to insert, click on the second one, and then click the station that should be station 2, and it puts it above it. Inserts an order above the highlighted order. Okay, so that's all taken care of. Promote to line 13. Let's make sure that it's on line 1, or sorry, that it's on order 1. How many? 8? That should be good. Okay. Oh, and also, because we put a choose signal like a waiting area here, we want to turn on wait time, change it to 10 minutes. Uh-oh, looks like we got an error. Did something wrong, but that's all right. Oh, all it is just I forgot to put the whatever the catenary on that section. Okay. Okay, we'll definitely save it again. Always save. Okay. And it looks like we set it up very well. Um, One thing that we could definitely do is just add one more tram. That way, there's always two waiting in the wait area. Ideally, there should always be two because we don't want to miss a schedule. We don't want to miss a scheduled departure because there's not a tram available. Okay, but now there's two. Now there's always going to be two. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Let's see if the bank is going to give us more money. Yeah, they lowered our they ro raised yeah they raised our line of credit again. It was so nice of them. Yeah, so here's what our city looks like right now. Um, for this area of the city, these industrial areas, um, it doesn't look that good because there's not like a variety of building sprites for this time period for the industrial areas. So that's why we have all of these weird. These are supposed to be like oil drums, big oil gas storage tanks. So we have a bunch of them right around here. Of course, there would be better if there was some more variety, but I guess if I wanted more variety, I would, of course, need to build draw it in a sprite format and just do it myself. Okay. Yeah, everything's going so far. Let's look at our lines. Line five. Oh, which one's line five? It says it's unprofitable. That's hard to believe. I guess it's a line that goes through a not very dense part of the town. So it kind of makes sense it's not profitable, but we don't have to worry about that. It's just a tram line. But what is important is that oh, is that the electric line is profitable now because we've added so many connections. So now it's September in 1926. Let's see if they've added any more trains. Ah, they have. Oh, they added this one. Yes. So what we'll do, this train, the LMS Suburban EMU, um, it can travel at 110 kilometers an hour. So that's about 10 kilometers faster than our current service. And we also got the three um, suburban train. And that one, no wait, yeah, this one is new, and this one the operating cost is less than the other suburban EMU. But I want the faster one, so let's try replacing it with the in-game tool. So replace trains, electric units. This one, okay, full replace. Let's see if that works. Okay, so it kind of worked, but it didn't put that train back onto the line. but that's easy. So you can see Uptown Electric turned white, which means the service is created, but there's no trains running on it. There's no convoys running on it. So what we will do, but there is a convoy running on an identical line. It just is now when we replaced it, the train became. See, it just changed its name to the name of the train and the convoy number, Convoy 2. Um, and to but to put it back onto the line, it's still obeying the orders. We'll just go to serves line. Wait, no, we'll go to schedule, and then it automatically goes to Uptown Electric because it's the identical orders, so it will automatically be promoted to the line of identical orders. I hope that made sense. But be careful with this because when you promote it to the line again, it will forget the signal orders, and so see then it goes down to a driving speed of 35 kilometers an hour. And so it's going to have to go all the way up there, all the way back, and then it will see the signal again, and then it will go back to normal operations. So I'm speeding up time again. Let's save the game. Da-da-da-da. Okay. There, back to normal. 110 kilometers an hour. And the operating cost is less. The running cost is now only about 3.1 credits per kilometer, which is much better. And remember, a kilometer is 8 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's about 8 tiles. And that's about 1 kilometer. Okay, so that's all good. What's our line of credit? Again, they've lowered it again, 645. That's great. I wish there was like another big city we could build a ferry service to that was in somewhat close proximity to our main city. Oops. Oh, there's a big city over here. What's this one? Oh, that looks nice. This one is Bainbridge. Oh, that's a nice looking city, and it has like a river area and like a bay. It's a nice looking city. Again, this map is available. This pre-generated map is available for you to just download with all the same cities, the same exact layout. I put it in the description of the part 1 video that I made yesterday on May 21st. And that's in the part 1 description. You can just download the save file there. And then you can play this very nice looking map. Because it's in Simutrans, it's pretty difficult to generate a nice looking map. Because it just puts the cities in random places. It's not random, but sometimes the cities are placed in areas that don't make sense. Like this city over here, this is a very big city, Pendhu. This was one of the major cities because it has the cathedral and it has the Museum of Natural History. So this is a major city, but it's on a lake. It's just on a lake, and it should be on the open ocean. It should be connected to the rest of the map by being on the ocean. That is much more realistic. But it just generated next to a lake. And a lot of the way that the map generation works is cities will generate right next to open bodies of water, large bodies of water, but it won't always they won't always do it accurately. Like this chose a lake instead of the actual ocean, which would be more realistic. We got another big city right here, Rosend. That looks nice. Oops, what did I do? Uh, huh. Okay, I don't know what. Oh, the map seems to be jumping around. That's weird. Whatever. The game's a little buggy. Hmm. All right, so you know what? I have to get. I have some stuff to do. I have some chores. So I am gonna sign off. Thank you for everyone who joined in the live stream. Um, we'll try and do it again soon, maybe tomorrow, about the same time. I'm in Vietnam right now in Ho Chi Minh City. So it is right now. It's 12. It's midday. It's 12 p.m. I'll try and start it at 9 a.m. here local time. Um, and yeah, so we'll try and do it then. So thank you for everyone who watched, and see you guys later.